Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just spent like literally like 35 minutes trying to figure out what's going on my computer. I think I might need to get my computer repaired. I'm just been having issues with it. Okay, anyway, here I am. All right, so I wanted to recap Philly Speakers Corner. It was so like just live and litty and everything I'd expect from Philly. I mean, we had people tuning in from all over the world. It was like totally jumping. If you were at, watch Known Heretics live stream of the event, I mean, the chat was going crazy. It was really, really, it was fire. And so of course, I was running late, and like, I just always am running late just because, again, with kids and everything, it's sometimes just out the door. I was able to get, family to hang out with my kids while I headed over there. But, I know why Judy, Amy, Jen and I want to go live and do like a recap, the three of us, but we just need to coordinate that. So I just figured I'd jump on here first, and maybe we can get back on another time. Just some housekeeping stuff. Next Speakers Corner is September 4th in Pittsburgh. I'm definitely going to be there. I'm only going to be there for the day, so I'm going to have to like leave super early. But again, September 4th, Pittsburgh. If you are interested in joining, contact Rev Fox, RevFem Fox USA on Twitter. I'll post some links and stuff, but it's September 4th, Speakers Corner, Pittsburgh. I'm definitely going to be there. And it just seems like this is going to start to snowball. So it seems like the issue, Speakers Corners, for those who don't know, started in the UK, and it was really, there's a place in the UK that groups gather. I think it's like the last Sunday of every month, and to just talk about different things, and it's a very free speech. It's any sort of speech, even unpopular speech. And so it's a place where gender critical women really found a place where they could gather and get together. And Posey Parker, aka Kelly J. Keene, really took it upon herself to organize this. She's a phenomenal organizer. She's excellent with marketing and communications, and she really just did a great job of creating a sense of community in the UK. And I think we in the US have sat back and watched that and yearned for something like that, and want that sort of organization. But the fact of the matter is that the US is a vast country. I mean, we could fit so many of the UK like in our country, and we're spread out all over the place. So I want to give a big shout out to Amy Souza, I forget how to pronounce the last name, of Known Heretic, and Jen, RevFem Jen. Those two have been amazing. They've been an awesome power team. RevFem Jen, Jennifer Thomas, has been on the ground. I mean, just going everywhere between her, Kara Dansky, who is managing a lot of our, public relations with the big media outlets and whatnot. You have people like Jennifer Thomas, who's on the ground. You have more behind the scenes sort of people on the East Coast, like, Connie. We also have Katie Jean with Femax News. That's another person to go follow. She's great. She's really been, she's been having every Thursday. They have a Zoom community like meeting for feminists. Anybody who wants to join. Katie Jean, if you see this before I drop your links. She's awesome. So Katie Jean, I think, was a big organizer of the Chicago Speakers Corner, which was happening at the same time. I think it was staggered like a couple hours as Philly. So we went first, then it was Chicago, and Amy has come up with this really, really great system of unifying our ability to participate virtually and to just be aware of these events by live streaming it. So Jen and Amy have had this going on now for quite some time, and it was just kind of smaller at first, but I noticed, our Philly live stream, and I saw, is her most watched video on her channel, which is like huge. I mean, people were, it couldn't have worked out better. And I'll explain why. A lot of people were saying, oh, it was horrible how the TREs were acting, and it really ruined everything. And I was like, ruined everything? Are you kidding me? We couldn't have paid for better PR. That they showed their ass. I mean, having the TREs come up like that, assault these women who were totally reasonable, who had gone through all of the legal means to secure a permit, pick a little, quiet space in a park. We weren't real obnoxious in our advertisements. We put these little cute postcards around. We didn't bring with us tons of, huge people. And guys, it was a quiet, small collection, a polite collection of women who gathered together to speak. And, and the way that they came at us was just so typical Antifa. And I want to, just to shout even my own self out and put myself on blast. I got to find these pictures. I have a ton of pictures of when, I was part of Antifa back in 2005. So I was 17 years old. I was a junior in high school. I have a bunch of pictures of me being involved. I was involved in the Northeast Anti-Fascists, and it's crazy because I remember when Antifa hit the national conversation, during the Trump's presidency and stuff. I was like, whoa, it's gotten huge. Antifa really started off as like a regional thing, a group of, collective of anarchists. And I mean, we have a huge anarchist history in Philadelphia and New York as well. But Philadelphia has a lot of grassroots political action. And as a kid, I was really enamored by that. I used to go to the city, and there was an anarchist bookshop called The Wooden Shoe, and this is before all of the gender ideology and stuff. It's when I first learned and read about Marxism. I was learning about anarcho-capitalism. I was learning about socialism, and all of these sort of grassroots means of getting involved in political activism. And I thought all of it was great. The first demonstration I ever went to, again, Philly is rife with political action, was a Mumia Abu Jamal protest. So as somebody who was, I think in the 80s, sentenced to death, and then I think it was commuted to a life sentence. I don't know the status. I think he was either with the Move. Was he with the Move? He was accused of killing a police officer. It's a black man. And there's a lot of controversy over the legitimacy of his conviction. And when I was 13, I used to take the train to go to school. My school was in Center City, on City Line Ave. And I used to take the train to go to school. And so one day I was being rebellious with my friend, and we skipped school. We skipped the train and we went right into the city, into Center City, and we just walked around. We got fake IDs. I was 13, and I was like, all right, to make it look legit, we can't get them to say that we're 21. We gotta because that's obvious. I was like, so we'll say that we're 22. So then they'll be oh, then it just seems more realistic. Okay, so don't get it. Everyone gets fake IDs that say 21. We'll get them that are 22. So we went to 16th and Spring Garden. I was 13. I did not look like a 21-year-old. I looked maybe a little bit older, but not 21. And it was it was so dumb. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was crazy because there was a notary. It was a totally corrupt notary, but it was a real notary that would print real licenses, but literally you just paid them cash and they would print them for anybody. You just fill out the information. I was and I was and then we'll get it for Delaware because Delaware has really easy security features to reproduce. I'm so dumb. Anyway, so that's what we were there for, was to get these fake IDs that look so stupid. Because if I tried to give that ID to anybody, it'd be they would just be all right, little girl, get the hell out of here before we call the cops. You're not 21. But we were walking, and there was a a demonstration going on. I was like, oh, let's go check it out. And we were like wearing like a school uniform. I mean, I went to like an Episcopalian school, so we were wearing like our school uniforms, like had our book bags and stuff. And we were there and we're like, yeah, and there was news coverage going on. And I guess they saw us and like, oh, wow, come on, let's go talk to these kids. And they're like, hey, can we interview you for a second? I was like, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, hi, we're live with, Action News 9. We're here talking to these two kids. It's great to see young people in this city getting involved in, activism. We're so surprised to see somebody of your age, this committed to the cause of the Mumia Abu Jamal, situation, that you really are like understanding the issues and police brutality. They're like, or no, sorry, she didn't even name what it was. She was like, we're really glad to see kids getting involved in these sort of grassroots issues, getting involved in activism, proud to have you here. It's great. They're like, so you want to tell us a little bit more about like, your stance and everything and why you're here? And I had no idea what the fuck it was. Like, I learned later. I ended up reading his memoir and everything, and I like learned about it later, but I didn't know what was going on. We were just like bullshitting. Yeah, we just it's real fucked up, man. Just real messed up what's been going on. Just want to like fight back, it's we just want to be out here with the people. And I was like, and I think that they kind of like were like knew that we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. Anyway, so when I was 13 was my first foray into like activism in Philadelphia. So I say all this to say, then by the time I was 17, I joined AntiFa, which it's like so embarrassing and cringe. I have these like really cringe. This is why I feel like for me, AntiFa is so cringe, because I was 17. Like I had all these like stupid, unreasonable fantasies of like a utopian society. I didn't understand the economy. I didn't understand how things work. I didn't understand government. And to me, at 17-year-old me said, wow, Antifa really has it like figured out, because I didn't know shit. So that's why when I see adults like supporting Antifa, I'm just like, bro, what? Like, did you not? Like, did you go to school? Did you graduate high school? Or, so, yeah, it's like, so anyway, yeah, I mean, I'll pull up these pictures, like, so you guys can clown me. It's really, really cringe and funny. But, so, so we used to go to these, rallies. I was detained when I was like 16 or 17 one time. But one thing that I noticed when I was with Antifa, we were with the ARA, the Anti-Racist Action, the Skins and Punks Against Racism. And I just remember, and I used to really be involved in like the punk rock scene. So I would go down to West Philly, and they always got these squatter houses, because Philadelphia is notorious for having a lot of abandoned homes. And so a lot of punk rock and like the anarchists would take over these homes, these squatter homes, and make them somewhat functional. And because the squatter rights are basically like, if you live in an abandoned house and no one's come around to like reclaim the house from you after like a certain, I think it's like 2 years or something, and you've actually like put work and effort into it and started to actually like turn on utilities, you actually can like claim ownership of the home. So a lot of these squatter punks would do that. And we would have like punk rock shows in the basement, and there would be like, it was like sexual and stuff, and people would be like having sex upstairs or like getting high. But I really loved the music. I loved the energy. I loved being in the city. It was like, we would go, but a lot of it was just about like wreck chasing, like getting, we would be drinking like malt liquor, getting these huge beer bottles and like smashing them and stuff. And we would go and just like wanting to just like destroy stuff, right? And I remember we went to, in 2005, so it was the year before I graduated high school in 2006. So it was the year before I graduated high school, 2004, 2005. There was a KKK, neo-Nazi, neo-socialist movement rally at a huge park, a reserve near my house, like this big nature reserve that had a park, and they had gotten permits to speak and it was a big national event. I mean, they had people, the KKK, like Klan members and stuff coming in from all over the country, and all these sort of like white supremacist, white nationalist groups. And so we had planned for like weeks to like counter protest. We had all these groups. I mean, we were wearing all black everything. I had steel-toed boots. You know, I had like masks on. I'll try to like see if I can pull something up while we're talking. And so when I first really realized that like Antifa was kind of like was while we were there, the protests started off like reasonable. And a lot of these, like, you know, neo-Nazi people, again, who we had been talking about for months, it's like, yeah, you know, we're no Nazis in our neighborhood, you know, no, what is it? No racists, no KKK, no fascist USA, no racists, no KKK, no fascist USA. Like, all these chants that we had. And I was all amped up and I felt totally self-righteous about everything. And I was like, you know, we're going to go and like, let me see if I can just, it's probably on my Facebook, my private Facebook. Some of these pictures. I have news. My mom has like some of the news clippings too. Cause I was like, hey, look, I'm in the news. My mom's like a little like not with it. Like, she's just like, oh, that's cool, Brent. Like, my mom, I tried to explain, like, what, my mom was like, so what do you do again? Don't you have, like, a little, like, something that you do? And I was like, yeah, I have, like, a little YouTube channel. She's like, oh, okay, that's nice. And she's like, what's it about? And I was, like, trying to explain it. She's like, oh, okay. Well, so anyway, and then, like, change the subject. Like, my parents, like, have no idea what the fuck. I try to explain stuff to them. Like, they don't really care. But, like, not in a bad way. They don't need to care. So, what was I trying to say? Okay, so when we were there, you know, I thought it was cool. We had these, like, anarcho-medics and stuff like that, and we were all, like, souped up, ready to go, and we marched over, and as again, I remember we were talking to the police, we're like, you know, oh, can't we kick them out and get them out of here? And they're like, well, no, I mean, they have a permit, and the cops literally explained to us, like, listen, okay, these are organizations, they applied for this permit months ago. You know, just like if you wanted to apply for a permit and pay for it and come and organize, you have a constitutional right to do it. They do too. As much as you don't like what they're doing, but they said, you know, but there's a reason why we're not making you leave either as protesters. You have a constitutional right to protest. You know, that's just how it works in this country. And we're like, you know. And there's a lot of adults too that like, I'm like, why were like some of these adults okay with like me being there? Like, why were they using me? I was like 16, you know, it's like these like adult men and women. So hold on, let me just see if, hold on. If I have any of these pictures. Oh my God. Yeah, I do. Okay. Look. Oh God. Here, you can like see, hold on. I just found, actually here, let me save some. Anyway, I'll save some and I'll try to put some up on the screen. But, you know what, let me do it this way. So, I say all that to say, hold on, I'm going to pull some up because I found some of the pictures. Hold on. So when we were there protesting, I just remember starting to be like at first it was fun and there were trucks coming. We had bats and we were smashing the shit out of like taillights and the trucks that were coming through. We were just fucking these vehicles up, you know, and the police were like off somewhere else and we had baseball bats and we were just like, and they were coming out. The people were like coming out to like challenge us, but we had numbers. And we all had bats. So then they would just take off, you know what I mean? They would just try to like whip it to like get us out of there. And we like were like damaging these vehicles as they were coming through. And we were like, and I just remember expecting that they like, it was going to be these big scary like Nazis and they were going to come and like be real aggressive. And like, you know, we had like black people with us, we had like gay people with us, and we're all like, yeah, so what are you gonna do, try to like kill them or something, you know, like what's up, you know? And it was like we were like super aggressive. And then I just remember being surprised because like They honestly, like, really weren't on any sort of, like, a confrontational type time. Except a couple did, actually. And this isn't to give, like, clout to, like, these, like, far right, whatever, you know. It's just that they're both, it just shows sort of the mentality of Antifa. Because there actually were some, like, KKK or, like, young neo, like, white nationalist men who, like, sort of, like, charged us at one point. But it's like this far left and far right. It's like the horseshoe theory where they both end up, like, meeting and both are, like, equally pieces of shit. So we were, like, smashing out cars, and, like, the fact of the matter is, like, a lot of it was wreck chasing, just, like, wanting to destroy stuff because we were young and, like, crazy. And then, like, you know, and it was, like, you could tell, like, everyone was, like, looking for, like, a reason to, like, let the whole thing just ignite. But one thing that really, I think, like, jarred me, even as a 17-year-old and my sensibilities and things, I was having so much fun. I got detained by the police. They were, like, in my face, ripped my jacket off and were, like, photographing my jacket. I just stayed quiet. They ended up letting me go. But there was a man and a woman walking through towards the thing. Yeah, they were involved in whatever organization, you know, and it was a white nationalist, unsavory organization, which is, again, I still condemn. Like, please don't misunderstand me that I'm saying that I, like, agree. I don't at all. You know what I mean? I have a very multiracial family. Like, I'm not into that sort of shit. But there was a man and a woman, a young woman who was, like, heavily pregnant, like 8-9 months pregnant, walking through. And a lot of men on our side came and got in her face and started to push her around. And I just remember being like, whoa, stop. Like, we're not, what are we doing, guys? And they were like they were, like, you know, pulling at her hair and stuff and shoving her and stuff. And you could tell she was scared. And she started, like, crying, sort of. And the guy, you know, was trying to, like, fight back, but, you know, he knew that they were looking for any reason to unleash violence onto them. And that's how Antifa works. Antifa is very much a cry bully organization, and you'll see this when I play the video back. They'll poke at you, they'll mess with you. I've seen the most disgusting footage. Like, at the Wee Spa, there was one gender critical woman working. They were surrounding her, throwing water bottles at her. And another thing, I had someone throw a water bottle at me, like, drop it at me, like, throw it at my head from, like, if that shit would have hit me, that could have knocked me out. It was a full water bottle. And I guess I was carrying an adult human female sign, and it was, like, multiple stores up. It scared the shit. It, like, missed me just by a little bit. If that hit me in the head, it would have knocked me out. But it was the moment that I was, like, really, like, I don't know that I'm, like, with this anymore. It was how I watched these men on my side attacking this heavily pregnant woman. And I was like, I thought the reason that we opposed these people was because we said that they were like that. Not that we were supposed to be like them. Not that we were supposed to. I thought the point is that, like, why are we becoming the thing that we were all saying that we hate them for? No, I didn't really sign up to assault pregnant women. That wasn't really why I'm here. This is before I ever had kids. This is before, you know, I felt really, really, like, uncomfortable with that. And I watched this guy trying to defend his pregnant wife, and I just watched how, like, emasculating it was for him to, like, not really be able to do anything, and she's, like, holding her belly and is, like, scared and, like, just trying to get through, and, like, he's trying to not escalate stuff, but you can see that his, like, anger and, like, fear is starting to, like, rise, and he's trying to, like, put his arm over her, and, like, so it was like, and the fact of the matter is, it very much characterizes what Antifa still does to this day, and I've seen it ever since. Moody on Rudy says, yeah, mob aggression, but it really is. And I realized how much, and like, a lot of times, like, we would just escalate. Like, if somebody was upset and crazy about something, and what really messed us up and what really went insane, and eventually we ended up all getting maced out, it went nuts, because after we had just basically terrorized everybody who would try to walk into this, again, It's an event that they had permits to. They did not come up aggressively. For as shitty and disgusting as their ideology is as white nationalists, they didn't come up aggressively. They weren't breaking any laws. They were pretty self-contained going up. We were damaging their property, and I mean like hundreds and even thousands of dollars worth of damaging vehicles. We were assaulting pregnant women. I mean, they were punching like guys in the face. Some of them had chains and stuff. It was really dangerous to walk through us. And I was all in. You know what I mean? I was just breaking shit just to break shit. And if somebody kind of like exploded into something, we would all just follow. 100% just follow. I didn't even know what we were doing or why, but I was just with it. I had a bat. I was breaking shit. I had, all kinds of stuff. And then a couple of like, I guess, neo-nationalists came down Sieg Heiling us. And then that was all we needed. Again, it's like a cry bully thing. It's like we sat there and terrorized the shit out of this group of people, which again, have very, despicable ideology and all that sort of stuff. But their behavior was legal and rational and nonviolent. The second that they Sieg Heiled us, that was it. It exploded. We all just took off running. I mean, people took off running and everyone just followed. And I could tell that it was like these 4 guys versus a whole mob of us. And I think that they knew that like they were probably going to die. Honestly, if we had like just all jumped them and stomped them, these men would not have survived. They didn't have the numbers. And again, one thing I was taught early on in Antifa was to always wear steel-toed boots. You kick somebody in the head with a steel-toed boot, you will kill them. I got stomped with steel-toe. I got jumped by like 5 girls at one punk rock party one time. And I just missed getting kicked in the head by a steel-toe boot. I like rolled right at the right time. And they were like kicking the shit out of me. And like, so that shit hurts. And it's like, but these girls were kind of weakling. But to have grown men, we had one guy, oh my God. This one guy, Jeff, who was like 6'7" and like 300 pounds of muscle. He alone. Whatever. So I learned very early from the inside what this ideology is about. And then after we would do stuff like this, we would all go back to these squat houses, get drunk, party, and just be like degenerates for the rest of the night. And it was like everybody was like, it was like who could be the biggest degenerate? Like I knew kids who one kid accidentally like broke his teeth out and he was like, yeah, it looks great now. He was like so happy that he looked like all the more like fucked up. It was like to be as like disgusting as possible. A lot of them like were choosing not to shower. And the thing is, a lot of these kids came from like nice families too. They came from like nice middle class families. And then there was like a few, inner city kids who like really didn't actually have any sort of like family or whatever. But it's like this weird mix of just like, and I'm like, well, where's like the ideology in all this? We're not sitting and talking about ideas. We're just like, it was just this idea that like we had this idea that Nazis were our enemy, and whoever was a Nazi, and there was always like and fence sitters. It was Nazis were the ultimate enemy, but the next enemy was fence sitters. It's people who are in between. Oh, are you going to be like nice to the Nazi? Then we can't trust you. And then like it was like a witch hunt, because then people would start accusing each other of being Nazis, I guess because we didn't have enough people to argue with. So then like we'd all fight with each other, and then it was like different bands. It was almost like became like real tribal. And after a certain while, I was like, wait, what are we like? Is this based on anything? Or are we just trying to like destroy stuff for no reason? Like what is this? Let's see. Sorry, what are you guys saying? Tried adding you on Facebook yesterday, being relating to your, my Brittany Rue. I don't go on Facebook a lot. I'll add you if I see you. Yeah, mob aggression. As a black woman, I can relate to not being protected by men. Yeah, that's a whole other, I don't like that whole dynamic either. If you haven't watched my, my stream on the Macy Gray thing, I talk about that. And also, if Victory Phoenix, if you're not already subscribed to Paris Milan, she talks about a lot of those dynamics, and I think that they deal more specifically with Black women. And I think she's really, really, I like her content. Like, she doesn't have the highest opinion of white women, but like it doesn't bother me. I still love listening to her, and some of it's definitely justified. Some of it, I think, I wish I could like sit down and have a debate with her, but she's still really good, and she's really on point with a lot of her stuff, dealing with that issue, Black women really being like unprotected. Judy C says it's usually middle upper class kids who need to manufacture a struggle because they don't have any real struggles in their lives. It's exactly it, and this is what happens with boredom. Listen, as human beings, to be so clear, we need struggle. Okay, we're literally hardwired to overcome difficulty. All of this ease where we can hop in a car and drive somewhere, we can throw something in a dishwasher and it's washed for us. When all of our problems are solved for them, we will create new ones. Because part of surviving is needing to overcome. Part of living is having to survive, is having to struggle, overcome obstacles, And when we don't have natural ones, when we're not working, all this gender stuff could not have happened in a society where we had to like really work day to day, get up and create, walk and, get our food, and where our ability to make it through the day and our ability to supply for ourselves was dependent on our hard work, right? So I think that people really struggle when there's not something for them to really, fight for and to, give their lives meaning. Also, another thing that I noticed too with like upper middle class, like the white suburban kids or just any suburban kids who, were like well-to-do, is that a lot of their parents didn't pay attention to them. They worked hard. It was like 2-income families, and they were really isolated. So you see like the lower middle class and like middle class, lower middle class, and lower class, families often lived in really like close communities that were like kind of on top of each other because there wasn't a lot of money and resources, right? So you have like maybe multiple families in one house, or you have a whole row of houses, and people have a lot of contact with each other. When you get out into like the suburbs, and especially, around like wealthier suburbs, you have a one family house that it lives on its own property and it's totally disconnected from neighbors, right? And you're driving everywhere. So there's really no place where these kids have a sense of community. They're not interacting with people. They're only interacting, their lives are all sort of contained into their home. Then you add to that there's a 2-income family, parents each have their own income, full-time working. The kids on their own a lot in this house. That's not good. That's not good for kids. That's not, to not have that sense of community. And this is also why I say that for everybody who says that, motherhood and parenting is not a feminist action, or it's not, bull fucking shit. Because you know what? Women who are like buckling down and prioritizing being a mother, I've heard some like this one feminist who, like, I like some of her takes, but she's like really hard, like, gung-ho on the, be a mother if you want, fine, but it should not be your highest, calling or the most important thing in your life. It should just be something you do, but make sure you're doing something and representing women everywhere in whatever. I mean, that leads to extreme burnout, but we need women who prioritize building families. I think women who choose to be mothers and prioritize that and create, because they're not just creating healthy, stable families for themselves, but when you have a healthy, stable family, that radiates to the community. I mean, other children have benefited. I've benefited from good parents and families who have kind of taken me in and been there for me, whose houses I knew I could always go to and need, and things like that. And when kids don't have that, they're gonna seek family. They're gonna find it. They're gonna go to somebody like Jeffrey Marsh to seek that sense of family or community. They're gonna go to like Antifa and just wreck shit to seek that sense of community. So yeah, no, actually family building and protecting and, being very conscious about how we build our families, being very conscious about how we raise our kids, absolutely is a feminist action. Little girls are covered under feminism too. Children are covered under feminism too. And when we create safe, healthy, stable environments that promote, wellness and ease, and not just ease, but, a healthy childhood. That is a protective factor. That protects against degeneracy. It protects against sexual assault. It protects against getting involved in AntiFa and stupid shit like that. So, sorry, that's my rant. All right. So, anyway. So, I felt like I saw this from the inside out. I mean, other big demonstrations I've been involved in when I lived in Peru. There was, Peru has the next biggest chunk of the Amazon rainforest next to Brazil, obviously, which has like the largest chunk. And like, I guess Colombia, or maybe Colombia is the next largest. It's like Peru has a very large chunk of the Amazon. So Peru has always been the best about conservationism. But there was in the 2009, there was a president who was kind of like getting more involved with American developers and, mining companies and even oil drilling and stuff. So they did this really messed up thing where they passed legislation that says that any land that isn't being habitated, for a full 12 months out of a year cannot be claimed by the inhabitants, which is messed up because the tribes in that area, when you have tropical soil, the topsoil is the most nutrient dense, right? So you can only, and then it gets kind of, because there's so much vegetation, it sucks up so much of the nutrients into the vegetation and stuff. You can only farm a plot of like rainforest farming, subsistence farms for one season. Then you have to move, and then you have to like do the slashing and stuff where it puts nutrients back in the soil, but you can't stay. You can't, I think, or what is like multi-years or something like that. So they basically came up with this like bullshit roundabout way to like seize land from these tribes, these indigenous tribes. And what they didn't expect when they went in with soldiers to try to enforce this. What they didn't expect was how much they didn't understand the land and how well these tribes did. So we had gotten intel back in Lima that it was these soldiers who had slaughtered some tribes people, and people were furious because there was like a new reclamation of this, this movement towards, honoring the sort of indigenous communities of Peru, and there was like a reinvigorated interest in that. But then there was a correction, like no, the information is wrong. It wasn't the soldiers, it wasn't the Limenian soldiers who killed the tribesmen. It was the tribesmen who killed the Limenian soldiers. These soldiers from Lima came in with guns, equipment, helmets, and they got slaughtered by indigenous tribes people who don't even wear shoes because they understand how to move in their own environment. I mean, they were like amazing. It was like kind of cool. It's sad that happened, but it's like, it was just sort of like a reality check. Like, you can't just bully anybody. You can't just go up and just assume that people are just be weak and roll over. Either way, it sparked a huge nationwide, set of just protests erupted all over Lima. You guys think you've seen protests in the United States? Yo, Lima, it was thousands of people down in right in front of the Palacio Gobierno, and oh my god! And the man, I was staying with a family. I was staying with a retired, husband and wife, and their kids were all grown up. And they didn't speak any English. And he was a retired journalist. And he was like, oh, I'm going to go see what's going on. And I was like, can I come? He's like, no, you have to stay here. And I was like, can I come? He's like, you can come for a little bit, but then you have to leave. And I was like, okay, I'm coming. So he gave me like a press thing. So we got to like ride on a tank and stuff like that. It was crazy. But the difference between, again, like with Peru, once it got like really crazy and we were really pushing on to the palace, then they like, first they were like spraying us with water and stuff like that, tear gas. Then they actually bring out like live rounds and weapons, and everybody was like scared and like ran away. I mean, there's different rules in South America. So I say all this to say that I do have experience with protesting ever since I was fairly young, ever since I was 13 years old. And I do have experience with this sort of stuff. So when I was driving on Sunday, I was running late, and I was going down 76, and I was tuned in to Amy's broadcast of what was going on. I was like, okay, everything's getting set up. But then as I was driving, I noticed that like kind of rapidly things were kind of like escalating. Like people, you know, some counter protesters were arriving. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, let me just go a little faster. Then they were starting to like push in. I was like, uh-oh. And then they assaulted Jen. That's when I put my phone down. I turned off the stream because by then I was at my adrenaline was like here. So the way you how you guys saw me come in and I was already at like a 10, that's because I was watching what was going on on the stream as I was driving down, and I was pissed that I wasn't there. I know a lot of those women are not used to demonstrating, and I'm not talking about like Jen or Kara, they are used to it, but a lot of the other women who were just there they were scared. And if there's anything that pisses me off, it's women who are scared and who are unfairly being intimidated. I hate that shit. It's like maybe it's like this like masculine side of me that like makes me really want to turn up. Because I hate seeing women who I feel like are vulnerable being intimidated and being scared. And not because of like anything. It makes me mad at whoever is like intimidating them. It makes me like want to get like just turn up. Because I've always been big. I think it's because if you guys saw the picture I posted of me next to Kara, I'm big and I'm built like a man. I am. I'm the size of an average man. The average man is 5'9" and 185 pounds. I am 5'9" and 180 pounds. I'm the size of an average man. So I was always the one to like stand up for my friends. Like if we ever had a situation or men were being rude to us, I would always be the one. I would take it upon myself to like stand and like we've had situations we've gone out and like men will start getting aggressive with some of my girlfriends, and I'll be the one to like stand in between them and be like, back the fuck up, because I've always been athletic and I'm strong. So I feel like I have this like masculine like just whatever it is side of me that like kind of like kicks into that like protector mode, especially with women who I know are smaller or who can't defend themselves. And I was really angry too because I know Connie was there, and Connie is like 50 something or like early 60s. These are like elderly women, and you have these scumbag Antifa who I know these types of people because I was part of these people. I know how they operate, I know how they think, and I know how self-righteous they get. They really feel entitled to commit violence. And then when they get hit back or they're oh no, they assaulted us, hello officer, they're the worst cry bullies you'll ever see. That it's not a bug, it's a feature of how they operate. They provoke, you respond at all, they'll fall on the ground like, oh God, and they'll all come and like, oh, he attacked you. You'll see that in this footage. You'll see them do that. One of the little piece of shit women, one of these little girls, went and attacked one of the girls, and then one of these men kind of was like, whoa, and just kind of like separated her from doing that, wasn't aggressive, and then some other girl comes running in, she's like, yeah, he attacked her, assault, and I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here, okay? So the reason why when I came on my speech, I had nothing prepared, nothing. I thought I was going to be able to like go and listen to these speeches and like have time to like think of something. I was not expecting to just have to just jump right in and speak. I had nothing prepared. I spoke right off the top of my head, and I was at a 10. I was at an absolute 10 because I was pissed when I saw Jen get hit. That pissed me the fuck off. By then the police had already been there. So let's just no, I'm like 5'9.5". I'm like a man. Like I am. I'm like, that's why when you see me next to my boyfriend, if it lets you know how big Hakeem is, I'm like a man and he makes me look small. He's fucking huge. So when I always say that, like, listen, if we ever need men to just create a sense of just a wall, and he's very under control, and he has a lot of cousins they're all tall as shit, just to be a presence. You know, I always say once he's home, that will definitely be there. They are manipulative mob thugs. They fucking are. It's disgusting. Anyway, so let's just take a look at this. Let's break some of this down. Oh, Lord. All right. So, and these are, again, it's these women. It's, it's a little speakers event. It's just a polite event of these women. Like, look at Jen. Jen hand makes these things. I mean, this is just, these women are just, they're passionate. They're creative. And to feel entitled to put your motherfucking hands on them, that, like, really irks me. And it's actually probably for the best that I wasn't there early on, because I'll switch into fight or flight. I really will. I will switch into fight or flight, and I usually choose fight. I'm not running from somebody like that, right? So I think Kara was better at handling that than maybe I would have been. So it's probably better I wasn't there. But once I was there, like, I turned up a little bit, and like, I know I'm kind of like taunting them back and all that sort of stuff, but you guys got to understand, like, that stuff really makes me mad. But it's like, two can play that game a little bit. But I also think that, anyway, I think that they were such a PR blessing because they really showed their ass. All right. Here we go. All right, let's see.
Everyone, my name is Amy Souza, and we are live in Philadelphia for a Speakers Corner free speech event USA. We're getting a little mic check from Gabrielle Clark in the background, and we're gonna see Jennifer.
Oh, and real quick, Gabby Clark is like my new favorite person ever. Yo, her takes are like, her and I talked for like a while afterwards at the bar. She is so my type of person. It sucks that she like lives down south, but like, shout out to Gabs Clark. Go follow her. I think it's like at Gabs Clark 5 or something on Twitter. Gabrielle Clark. Yo, she is like the shit. Okay, I really like her. She was cool. She's just like so I just immediately was like, oh yeah, this is my type of person.
Jennifer Thomas out here. She's gonna get us started.
And I love Jen. Also, I love Jen. Jen and Connie are the people who pulled me into like the activism side of it. I guess Connie found my YouTube and was like, oh wow, this woman lives in Pennsylvania. We got to pull her in. She contacted me. I was like, yeah, I'm down for whatever. But these two women, Connie, who you don't see, she's older. Again, it's another reason I feel protective. She reminds me of like my mom. You know what I mean? Where she's just like, my mom will go to all these like dangerous places. My mom's this like little tiny, like pretty like white lady, and like she's just all like kind of like just a little bit of an airhead, and she's this like older lady, like 65 or something. My mom, I remember one time she was like, oh, I'm gonna go get some dental work done. I was like, she's like, I found a place that's way cheaper. She's like, but I gotta take a flight there. I'm like, oh, where is it? She's like, it's Tijuana, Mexico. She's like, but it's great. It's right below Texas. I was like, Tijuana, Mexico, Mom? You mean like gangland? You realize Tijuana, Mexico is like the femicide capital of the world? It's like totally taken over by cartels and gangs. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, no, I have Carlos. He's great. He's my driver. And then I go get my nails done. I was like, oh my fucking God, yo. My mom like didn't go to college. She like barely graduated high school because she's like partially deaf and like whatever. She's like, but she's just a really like good at kind of getting around. But anyway, Connie reminds me of her because Connie was like walking through all these Antifa people alone. We're all together and we're like, wait, where's Connie? I'm like, oh my God, Connie's fucking walking over there alone. Like, And I was like, hold on, I'll go get her. I was like, Connie. She's like, oh, I'm fine. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to end up like beating somebody up over you. Like, if somebody touches you, it's going to be a problem. All right, here we go.
Heard we have a lovely crowd of ladies joining us. We've got a bunch of speakers out there.
That's Gabby.
Hey.
That's Gabrielle right here, who's right behind Jen. Jen's the blonde. Gabrielle's the one behind her. She's cool shit.
Beatrix, hey Londa, hey TG, and VF555. Welcome everyone who is watching. I'm so wants to.
And I will not be silenced by anyone, ever. I'm an American. I'm a woman. We're standing in the heart of free speech. And I'll speak freely as much as I choose.
Yo, she gets me so hyped up. She's such a good speaker. I love her.
Every time I choose. For all women. For all Americans. Because I deserve to be heard just like anybody else. And I will not let anybody silence me. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. We can say what we want to say. Because we're Americans. I'm an American. You're an American. Speak freely. This is Philadelphia, the birthplace of speaking free. We gotta wait.
That's the crazy part. We were right down the fucking street from the Liberty Bell. This is the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. This is the first capital in the United States of America, the land of the free, everything that we fought for, everything. And we have these fucking overprivileged clowns coming and putting in our face, calling us fascist. Terrorists go home. Terrorists go home. I was like, yo, I am home. Fuck is you talking about? Like, the craziest part is the most, like regressive ideology with the most regressive people, the most oppressive, fascistic people who use these tactics to silence women, expressing reasonable concerns, won't even hear us out, won't even engage with it, just use these low down, cheap tactics, these gang style tactics, this mob rule, and you're gonna call us fascists? What in the hell are you? And we're in Philadelphia. One thing that I would really rather die than have somebody like intimidate me, like in my own city, in my own space. I really, really like, I have kids and stuff, so maybe not literally, but like, my God, yo. Yeah, it is going to be a cold day in hell that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm just, I'm going to go. Like, and it makes me sick and sad and angry. And when I see other women feeling scared, and not because I'm like mad at them for feeling scared, I'm fucking angry that people think it's okay to go up to her. Not everyone's built like me. Okay, my leg, yo, I'm a muscular person. I'm a strong person. I'm like a little bit overweight right now, but like underneath all that, I'm a strong person. Okay, so I always have this sense of like I can handle myself. Some of these women are smaller, or they're disabled, or they're older, or they're just not have that kind of like experience in life, and it makes me really, really mad when people abuse the fact that women don't really have experience like being aggressive. Like, that really makes me mad. Women who can't stand up for themselves, and you make them feel just small and weak and powerless. That shit really makes me mad. It really makes me mad. And I'm very grateful. This is why you'll never hear me complain about being big. Like, I know like some women are like, oh, I hate being tall and men don't like it. All this. You'll never hear me complain. Being big has been such a blessing for me. I love being huge. I love being like built like a man. I love it. I love it because it is a lot harder to intimidate me. It's a lot harder to intimidate me. And I've been able to stand up for other women, and I'm blessed for that. There are some men that I can like really like legitimately stand up to, and I'm blessed for that. But not every woman has that, and it just makes me mad the way that they like take advantage.
From tyranny, we got away from suppression so that we can speak freely every day, and I'm gonna do it every day. Thank you,
so this is when it starts. So Jen just said, oh, we have a little bit of resistance. And you hear Gabby, she's fighting. She's saying, I'm an American. You're not going to shut me up. I'm going to talk. Because they're in the background, like saying, like, get TERFs, get out of here, go home. They had done this some stupid, like, TERF dance thing. So they found out that we were going to do this. And they publicized it on Twitter. So they knew to expect us. And they did like, dance off. They didn't dance. They attacked and bullied us the entire time. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the... hold on. Let's see. They said, oh, it was a dance party. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. TERF. Hold on. Sorry. I want to show you the flyer that they sent around. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Act Up. So just so you guys know, it's Act Up Philadelphia. Here, let me make this bigger so you guys can see. Hold on. So they had, okay, Dance the TERFs Away. Okay. So it was like, oh, we're just going to go and we're going to make music. And it's always this, like, again, they're so fake. I think that this is another reason why, like, the whole, like, Lisa Michelle stuff pisses me off. Because I hate the whole fake, like, we're going to be sweet and nice and cute. And then, but, like, really you're, like, you know, a behind the scenes kind of bully, or you're just not honest about it. You know, it's like, oh, we're just going to dance the TERFs away. We're just harmless. We're just, you know, we're just not trying to hurt anybody. You know, it's these big mean TERFs. But hey, we're going to show them, kill them with kindness. We're just going to kill them with kindness and bring all of our good queer energy. You know, meanwhile, that's never how it goes down. They're just aggressive. I saw another thing where it was like this one disgusting trans-identifying male in like full weird outfit intimidating a lesbian at a rally, this young lesbian. Yo, that made me so mad too. And he was like getting real close in her face. And I want to be like, sir, back the fuck up. And I'm sorry. I know a lot of people say like, oh, you know, we don't need men. We shouldn't have men. You know, No, I'm sorry. Like, why would I sit there? One of the most beautiful things in my life is when I finally stopped having to like fight all of my own battles, because like, I'm sorry, but my boyfriend just standing next to me usually kind of shuts it down really quick. He doesn't even have to like, again, it's not about getting men to go and like beat people up and like, you know, get loud and get crazy. But a lot of times men just with their presence, just like, hey, you know, back up, leave them alone, you know, is enough. You know, it's enough. And it's nice to have that. No, that's why we have men. Why are we going to fight? Why are we going to have like Connie go fight people? We have men for that. That's their literal purpose. What the fuck else do we even have men for if it's not for that? If it's not to stand in the gap? You know, like, let them be disposable. I'm sorry, but like, you know, let them do that. And it gives men a sense of like purpose, and it makes them, you know, a sense of, you know, let them. And I'll explain why more too. I'll explain more. All right. I blocked you, or what did I block you for?
So our next speaker would like to come up. Introducing Kara Dancy, the wonderful,
All right, so this part is going to make you mad.
Jennifer, great job, Gab.
Do you hear him in the background?
As Gab said, we are here in Philadelphia. We are here as women speaking. Right now, we are very near the Liberty Bell. In case you don't know, this is what the Liberty Bell says. We are here to proclaim liberty throughout all the land.
Okay, so during Kara's speech, this is going to escalate rapidly, okay? This is when stuff really starts to get borderline dangerous. Watch.
Unto all the inhabitants thereof. I have a quick message for our founding fathers, if they can hear me. Liberty is not just for men. We are here to proclaim liberation of women from male domination, and we will not stop doing it.
Do you hear them them in the background. What scumbags, yo.
Okay, I'm gonna read from Article 4 of the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights. These people over here will not silence us, will they? No.
Also, another thing I want to say, just for like, in terms of like planning for future events, the way Kara handled this was perfect. One of two things happened. One, when people came in to try to like protect her, she told them to stop. She said, let them do it a little bit. Let them show themselves, and keep recording. Always keep recording. And she kept going. She didn't flinch. She didn't respond. I don't know if I have that same, I think at this age, yeah, I do actually have the self-control to do what she did. I think like 15 years ago when I was younger, I would have knocked somebody the fuck out. But I think, at this age, and I have children and I have a lot on the line that I value, I'm not, she had excellent poise. And it's really important that we keep going and keep letting them. We can, if we stop them too soon, then we can't let them show how far they're going to go. Obviously, we don't want anyone to get hurt, and we don't want any of our property to get damaged. That's first and foremost. But let them push it a little bit. Let them show themselves. Regular people who watch this, who in their mind have the idea that, TERFs are these messed up bullies that hate trans kids and they want to hurt trans kids and all this sort of stuff. When they watch this, they're going to be like, wait, so which one are the TERFs? Are the TERFs the ones in the black masks, or are they the women who's speaking? Because from what I understand of TERFs, or what I was told about TERFs and how their behavior is and how hateful and evil and mean they are, you would think that they're the ones in the black masks. Is that the TERFs? And someone's going to be like, no, the TERFs are the women who are speaking rationally, reasonably, calmly, and not responding to the threats. And other people are, wow. Okay, let them expose themselves.
Article 4, reaffirming women's right to freedom of opinion and freedom of expression. Shut the fuck up. Bye.
Oh, also, and I'm going to share these around. I posted her picture. I'm posting the pictures everywhere, okay? I'm not letting him get away with this. One thing about Twitter can find somebody, and I've already had people hit me up and say that they think they know how to get a hold of these people's identities. I'll call the police, and I will send in all the information I have and press charges, or I'll give whatever, if Carol wants to press charges or whatever. No, these people should and will be held accountable. We're not going to just sit there and act like it's all good. No, it's not all good. You're not going to sit there and attack and intimidate women. And it's something like that I love. I was talking to Dare about Hakeem about this, and I want him to as Hakeem was saying to me, he said, Brittany, as a woman, I don't want you, and he's like, and I know you understand this, but I never want you. And I try to tell this to my nieces and my sisters and my cousins, and especially, the black women in my life. And I try to tell them, especially black women living in Philadelphia, you are not a street thug. Rules like no snitching don't apply to you. He's like, a lot of the rules that men have created that are like, we don't call the police, we don't snitch, those are for men who are engaged in criminal street stuff, that have, agreements, sort of, a culture with other men. That does not apply to women. It does not apply to black women. It doesn't apply to any woman. He said, you call the police. You call the police. There is no such thing as no snitching when it comes to women. That's not your arena. That's not, and he's like, if I could impress that onto any of my cousins. Max! Oh, my dog's barking. Probably the other dog's walking. Siéntate. Cállate. Yeah, so. All right, so hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I get on like tangents. I gotta stop doing that. Hold on, let me just, I'll try and post a lot of this stuff. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So look, listen, we're gonna like, I'm literally not playing with these people, okay? You're not gonna just go and act like savages and we're gonna play along as if we have like a mutually agreed upon, like, oh, we're just gonna handle this in the streets. No, we're not in the streets. We're not in the streets, okay? This isn't like some, no, you come and you assault us while we are properly going through and we apply for permits. We're acting respectfully and in accordance to the laws of this park, in accordance to the laws of this city. You're not going to come up and get some like special privilege to attack us, to intimidate us, to damage our property. You'll go to jail. You'll go to fucking jail. You put your hands on one of us, we're not going to hit you back. We are going to record the shit out of you and hand it right the fuck over to the police, and you'll go to jail. We're not playing with you. We're not in the streets. This isn't no snitching. Stop fucking thinking this shit is going to be sweet. It's not. Bro, it's not. Even if we had like a whole ring, even if I were to get like a whole bunch of hood dudes, which I could have, even then, I don't care what the fuck you think it looks like. You put your hands on us. I'm not even going to get down with you. I'm really not even going to get down with you unless it's like an imminent threat sort of thing. We're not sparring. We're not going back and forth. I'm going to get a clear picture of your face and I'm going right to the police and I'm going to file a report and I will sue the shit out of you. I will sue your parents. I will sue you. I will go to your school. I will sue them. I'll sue everybody. We're not in the streets. This isn't no snitching. We're not playing by any kind of like, I'm not doing the tribal shit with you. I'm 34 years old. I got children. I'm not with the fuck shit. I'm here to protect my kids. Every other woman needs to be on that same type time. Selena, sweetheart, my love, can I? No. Get the fuck out of my stream. You know what? You're out of here. You want to watch it? Go on to Amy Souza's stream, okay? Get out of here. Don't tell me how to run my stream. Can you play it? Who the hell are you, yo? Yo, you're done. Don't come and disrespect me on my stream, okay? I'm here to talk about whatever the hell I want. I don't get paid to do this. You want to tell me what to do? You can hit my cashApp. Matter of fact, if you want to get back on my stream, if I find out that you make another account, you got to pay me $200 on my PayPal. aslightlytwistedfemale@gmail.com. Then I'll unblock you, all right? Anyone gets blocked, you can make a donation, $100. Don't come in here and tell me what to do. Fuck out of here.
Bye, I'm speaking. This is how we're treated. When women try to speak, this is how we're treated. You got women's liberty to speak and I spoke. This is not your property.
Yo, Natasha, you guys, this shit is really getting like tiring. We need better speakers next time. What are you talking about? We were being attacked from every angle. We're not professionals. We're a collection of women who are concerned. It's really like mind-blowing to me how much people who aren't doing anything have to say. And it's not just you guys. It's not just this. I saw it on Twitter. It was like all of these Twitter warriors had so much input of how we should have done things and who should be doing what better. And, you should have done this. Where the hell were you? Go organize a speakers event. If you could do it better, by all means. We need all hands on deck. But the audacity of just sitting there, how about some gratitude? A lot of us are taking time away from our families. We're not getting paid for this. I'm spending money on gas, signage, putting ourselves at risk to speak up. putting my reputation on the line. I've lost friends. You know my friend, not just a few friends. I've lost a lot of friends over my channel. I don't care. Good riddance. But like, come on, yo. We need better speakers for next time. What kind of a thing is that? Hey, thanks so much. Thanks, women, for getting together and doing what I've been too cowardly to do. Come on, guys. These women put a lot into this. These women have worked very hard with very limited resources. It is hard for us to organize. You know why? Because they come and they try to, we get our accounts frozen. We get kicked off the platforms. You know, it's hard to keep trying to like reestablish. A lot of people won't issue us permits. They won't issue us permits. I couldn't hear myself when I was speaking. That's why I was screaming. I couldn't hear myself. They're banging drums in your ears. I would love to see you do a speech with people banging drums in your ears, threatening you the entire time, in a whole ring. And you're outnumbered like 4-1. Come on, guys. Thank you, Moody on Rudy. Thank you. I thought they did great too. I'll admit I wasn't prepared. If anything is, mine sucked. That's fine. But, yo, these women put a lot of stuff into it. I showed up late. I was all fucked up. But, like, come on. Kara Dansky's doing a lot. Gabrielle's doing a lot. We had Jessica from Turf Collective who has done a lot. We have, Leslie, who just shows up to everything. She's just quietly always there. She doesn't like demand a lot of attention. She comes, she does her piece. These women are taking, you know how expensive gas is? So, no, if I want to sit, I just won't play it. We'll just chill. We'll just chill on a stream. If you guys, play the video. No, we'll just chill. I'll just waste everybody's time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But come on.
This is what we're up against. Reaffirming women's right to freedom of opinion and freedom of expression. This is what we're up against. The state should ensure that women have the right to hold opinions without interference. This should include the right to hold and express opinions about gender identity without being subject to harassment, prosecution, or punishment. States should uphold women's rights.
Bro, who is this fucking clown? You just make that. What are you trolling me right now? Badass noob. Guys, get off my stream with that. Can I just get on with it? Get out of here, yo. Who am I putting on? Hold on. Where's Judy C? Judy C still in here? No, I'm gonna. Yo, Moody, you're a moderator. If you gotta go, that's cool. But you're my you see any like dumb shit? Just use your best. Yo, all right. Illuminati, you're a moderator too. Sorry, you guys are out. And TPS. TPS, if I need you, stay on. I don't want to get too crazy. I gave out 2 wrenches. Sorry I didn't ask your permission. You guys are the new moderators. If anyone says anything dumb, like telling me to get on with it, get them out of here.
To freedom of expression, including the freedom.
And Bogarte, thank you. I watched live from Turf Island. You have my total respect for what you all put up with from those people trying to disrupt your speeches. Thank you. Also, you guys got to realize, listen, we're in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the murder capital of the United States right now. We have the highest, most out-of-control murder rate. And that's not just limited to murder. Okay? I mean, the police are stretched totally thin. People are committing crimes with impunity. It's crazy. It's a little scary, okay? My boyfriend was like, yo, what are you doing? And I was like, no, it'll be fine. We're going to be by the, he was like, I really don't think you should go. Like, full stop. I don't think you should go. And I was like, I'm going to go. You know, it's a lot going on, guys. So thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, Hannah. 100% agreed. It's so easy for people to criticize instead of doing something themselves. Telling women to go home is misogynistic. Exactly. No, that's exactly what Kara said. Like, what, should we go back to the kitchen? Is that where you want us to go? Go back. Oh, those women, get them out of here. Don't speak. Go back to where, women should be heard and not are seen and not heard. That's what they want. No, we're going to speak.
Them to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas of all kinds, regardless of frontiers. You do not hear.
This one, yo. So this is around, I had to keep, like, I wasn't watching because I had to watch the road. This one lady, yo, she tried to come for me too. She tried to follow me out. And I told her, I was like, yo, listen, you fought, like, I really will knock you, like, clean out. I'm not with it. You know what I mean? Just whatever. And no, I didn't say that. I thought it. Just for the record. But like, this person was really, again, they're cry bullies, they're agitators, they're looking for you to react. Watch this person who comes up and comes out. Look how obnoxious this is. So you heard Kara say, Leslie, move. She wasn't trying to be mean. She was trying to say, we've got to let them get on. We've got to keep going. We have to show that they can't stop us from speaking. We're not afraid. We're not going to stop, and let the cameras roll and show what's happening. Yo, look at Gabby. Yo, look at Gabrielle. I love that energy. Yo, she's like my new best friend. I love this woman so much. The one in the white. She's a mom. She has filed all these lawsuits and stuff. She's like super badass. I love her.
States should recognize that attempts by state agencies, public bodies, and private organizations to compel individuals to use terms related to gender identity rather than sex are a form of discrimination against women and shall take measures to eliminate form of discrimination.
How obnoxious. How obnoxious. How obnoxious. You know what you could have done? They could have live streamed this. They could have recorded it, live streamed it, gone back and did a response to all of our speeches. They could have done a response. They could have stand there and showed that they disagree with it, go back and did a response to our speeches, and then schedule their own thing to respond to everything that we said. They can't do that. You know why? They must make noise, because if regular people hear us out, if normal, everyday people who are just sort of mindlessly supporting this because they think it's the right thing to do, they think it's the good person thing to do, and if they actually sit and have a chance to hear us, they're going to be like, oh, wow. Yeah, you know what? I never really thought of it like that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and people will peak overnight. Their gender ideology will crumble overnight. But that's what you have. That's why I'm really just against painting people with a broad brush and just being like, oh, they're all bad. Just don't listen to them at all. That's a dangerous thing, because I've heard a lot of people who were like former TRAs being like, I was always told, Kat Kattinson talks about this. She goes, when I was trans, we were always told that there was like a list of like a blacklist of like TERFs that you just shouldn't listen to, books to never read. And she's like, and then one day finally got tired. I was like, you know what? I'm going to like dabble into the TERF list. And she was like, it rocked my world. I'm like, oh, that's why they don't want us to read this. Because it's opening my eyes up so much. That's why it threatens them so much. Because all we need, our arguments don't even need to be complicated. Just that women are human. Biological sex matters. Biological sex is real. And when we don't acknowledge that, we are putting women at risk. Trans women have spaces. They absolutely can, it's bodies that are competing. They can play sports. They can have their own class, but the word woman is already taken. That's it. It's all so simple. Adult human female. That's what a woman is. It's women, it's real complicated to explain what a woman is. It's a lot of things to a lot of people, and it really depends on who you're talking about. And, if you look at women from a cultural, monodialistic, linguistic, psychosocial perspective, well, then the answer might be different than if you look at adult human female. That's what a woman is. That's it, and that's all. And people will just peak.
to prohibit any form of sanctioning, prosecution, or punishment of persons who reject attempts to compel them to identify others on the basis of gender identity rather than sex. You do not scare me. It's hot. You do not scare me. You do not scare me.
Yo, this one was real confident about herself. I literally had like 5 or 6 inches on her. You guys understand, she looks big compared to Kara. Kara's like 4'11". Okay, this person was not big, and she felt like so big, like she could intimidate someone like Kara. For all, Kara's a prosecutor. Kara doesn't give shit about you. You know what I mean? But then she tried to do it with me, and I was like, oh, honey, I will dog walk you. I would die with, you know, that. Go ahead and try and put your hands on me. It'd probably be a mistake. That's why she tried to like follow me at one point. I think when she got like closer to me and like again saw the size differential and also saw that I'm not playing with you, my energy was at a 10. I wouldn't approach me either. I wouldn't approach me either at that time. You know, she decided to like call it off.
Hands go! I'm not interested in you. Hands go! You are blocking. Anyway, speak to my audience. Hands go home! Hands go home!
So obnoxious.
Hands go home! Hands go home!
Oh, this woman right here, Mellow, in the yellow, Mellow Yellow, right here. The one in the yellow who's taking the picture, she's amazing. You know what her job is? She literally goes around and gets high quality photos of everyone's faces. Because I was trying to go back and take screenshots and it was all pixelated. She was like, oh girl, I got you. She sent me like a whole thing of just these high quality, like clear as day HD pictures of everyone's face. She went and got a portrait of every single protester. I was like, you are brilliant. Like, I just like it again. You know, you guys, again, people can criticize how we did it, but you know what? We came together and we came up with just, each of us just knew the assignment and we just took it upon ourselves. No one told her to do that. She went around to every single person and took everyone's picture. I was like, yo, you are a queen for that. Oh, and also Illuminati was there. She'll be in the background. Illuminati was there. It was exciting.
We are subjected to when we attempt to steal this.
Okay. Sorry, I will play it. I know. Sorry if it's getting annoying that I'm talking. See this guy right here? This guy did not come with us. Okay? He saw that there was something going on. He was with his daughter. I guess he had like heard that there was like an event or something. Wanted to come see what it was about. And he said as he was getting closer, he saw that women were being attacked and disrupted and like there was a crowd that was starting to like grow and press in on us, and he felt really concerned. He walked up, he's with his 14-year-old daughter, this man right here. We had a big fight about him on Twitter because they were like, oh, you know, it's bad for optics. He looks like a white supremacist because he was wearing a Punisher shirt or something. And he was very respectful. I was like, if he's a white supremacist, why was he defending black women, the black women on our sides? Why was he creating a barrier to protect the black women on our side? Doesn't sound like a very, you know, great white supremacist to me, but you know, what do I know? Yeah, it's a woman. It's a woman. It's not even, I mean, yeah. It's a queer, I'm sorry. It's like a they, them. It's queer. Like, it's a woman, you know. And, but this guy, this is why I said, you know, this is why I don't care what anyone says. You can get mad at me. You can unfollow me. You can block me. I think men absolutely have a space here. When I was born with every egg that I would ever have in my life. So I already had my children inside of my body. My sons are literally a part of me. Okay. My father is a part of me. You know, the men in our lives are a part of us. My boyfriend would never sit and be okay with just, you know, not standing up and standing next to us if something was going on. Let men be there for us. Let them stand in the gap. We don't, and not to say that they need to go and like, you know, punch up all the TRAs and stuff. Just their presence enough. Fathers need to be involved in this fight. Our brothers need to be involved. Let them care about women. This might be the first time that some of these men will really sit and consider the needs of women in this way.
And that's a powerful thing. And not because they're assholes for not having done it sooner, but maybe it's just not something that they're like, wow, you know what? Maybe in being there for us, maybe in being involved in these conversations, they'll begin to really have a more three-dimensional understanding of the fact that women are human. Women are human beings with unique needs. And there's a psychological thing too, that when you've had to protect something before, that you have like more of like a love for it and a connection for it. If you've ever had to put your life on the line, like for example, say you've ever had to like run into like a burning building to go save like an elderly woman, right? And you came out, you're more likely to like want to keep up with her, and you'll always have like a piece of like love for her, because it's like you put yourself on the line, you have like a love. Let men put themselves on the line for us. Let them stand in the gap. Let them hear what we're saying. Let them be involved. We're not going to heal the world by and I don't mean bad men, I mean good men who care, our fathers, our husbands, our brothers, men who love us. That's what this guy did. He set a gorgeous example for his 14-year-old daughter. He came in off the street and stood in the gap for women that he didn't know, and said, you're not going to just push on them. He didn't push anybody. He didn't get violent. I never heard him curse. He didn't say a single threat. He was very respectful, but he was firm. He said, no, excuse me, please let these women speak. Sometimes your presence is enough.
This is women are subjected to and raise our rights to speak. That's it. This is our event. Pledge you're a woman. You have the right to speak. I hope you organize your own event.
But look at him. He wasn't like, pushing her and like, being like, get out of here. He's just like, listen, hey, you got to back off. Again, another thing is we had permits to be there. So technically, this is technically a failure of the park, but it's not something we would ever like bring up to the park. Philadelphia was great. I mean, for being in the crisis crime wave that we're in, and I mean, it's a crisis. It's a crisis. I worry about, family that I have in the city every day of my life. My little, Hakeem has a little 13-year-old brother, which is like kind of crazy. He's got a 13-year-old brother who I worry about his life every day. Like, he's in the inner city. So the fact that they gave us 10 cop cars worth of police after all of this meant a lot. But the fact of the matter is, we had, a permit to be there. They shouldn't have even been in the space at all. They really had no right to even be in the space like that. They didn't have the right to be right in our faces.
And we stand here and fight for our right to speak as feminists and as women. I have a First Amendment right, and this woman is standing in my way of communicating.
Look at her energy, though. Look how like her like uppity her energy is. She wants a reason. But she also knows, like, he's not really the one, to try that with. I mean, no offense. You can't really come, and, like, with all due respect, I'm not in good shape at all right now. I'm overweight. You can't come up shaped like an Egg McMuffin, acting, like, real tough, like you're gonna, like, fuck everybody up. And then you just getting some, woman who's 4'11" and probably, like, weighs, like, 98 pounds and get in her face and, like, feel tough about that. Now, you're going to have to work out a little harder than if you want anyone to be, like, actually intimidated of you. Throwing all your weight around just because you're have all this extra weight on, that's not going to cut it when you get with somebody who's actually, like, athletic.
Women will never stop speaking. Article 1 of the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights says that women are an exclusively female status. Article 2 of the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights states that mothers are an exclusively
Look at her. This
female
is cute.
status.
Okay, I don't really like kids being involved in stuff. But she is 14. I feel like teenagers, it's different. You see her, like, I talked to this girl, this 14-year-old. We all ended up all going out to, like, dinner and stuff and hanging out afterwards. I talked to her for a while. and like she was like understanding and like getting it, you know, she agreed. And it's like, it's so great. We need to inspire young women. She's the next generation. She's gonna replace us. You know, I don't believe in kids being involved in politics, but 14, yeah, she's ready for that kind of stuff. I was, at least. I could understand. I was reading a lot of, like, again, that's when I first read, like, the Communist Manifesto and stuff. I would think I was 14. I read, like, a bunch of political works when I was 14. I was reading a lot of Emma Goldman work, you know, the Anarchist essays and things like that. So I think, you know, she's at an age, I do think it's appropriate. They learn about this sort of stuff in school. And look at her. I mean, she was energized by it. That's powerful. You know, we need to bring young women when they're ready, when it's, you know, it's exciting. Yeah.
Article 3 on the Declaration of Women's Sex-Based Rights states that it is imperative to secure reproductive integrity of women and girls. Article 4 of the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights states that women must have the right to live and express their gifts and lives.
Yo, this one especially, at least like the Egg McMuffin one was like, didn't go and play victim later. This one in the tie-dye shirt was a bully. And at least like the Egg McMuffin one was kind of like laughing, at least like had like more of like trying to keep it lighthearted, even though she was being a bully. But the other one, this one that you're going to see here with the tie-dyed shirt, was an asshole, was a bully, was really like aggressive, and then was like crying, trying to like show like wounds that she had to the police. She was being like, I have like a hurt, like a skin knee, I have like a boo-boo. And I was like, whoa, what? Yo, it's like when you're on the schoolyard, when some kid is picking on you and picking on you and picking on you and calling you names and calling you this, and you finally like shove the shit out of them and they trip over a rock and then they're like squealing like a pig. And, you're gonna hurt. Like, come on, yo. Like, come on. This is why it's so important to just record everything, get every angle. Oh yeah, no, Moody, that's fine. Go, please, but you don't have to stay. You just have a wrench now. It's just like while you're here when you can. By no means are you like required to stay. Please go whenever you need to. I'll just throw a wrench to somebody else. I just trust you. You know what I mean? Because you've like been around for a while, but you absolutely are not tethered to staying here at all. And that's true for like you'll always have a wrench. Like you just have one now. Anytime you're on a stream, like that's like Mech, like when she comes on, she just like handles moderation, and then she has to leave. She just leaves. She doesn't even tell me. You know, she just shows up. All of a sudden, I'll start to see like moderations happening. I'm like, oh, Mech must be here because like she just gets to, you know, she just gets to it. You know, it's totally like if you want to sort of thing. It's not a big deal. That's why I just give a few of you guys it. So I feel like between a lot of these regular people who I see in my streams, you guys can handle it, and I trust you to use good judgment. Look at her losing her voice, yo. Good for her, though. Kara kept going. Yo, she has a lot of energy. I had a long talk with her later. I was like, yo, this is why I appreciate women like you. I appreciate women who chose not to have children. You know, because I can't, there's certain things that I can't do. There's certain boundaries I have to keep. I can't always show up early and stay late, you know. And again, like I said, I will supply you with the future feminists, you know, and you pave the way so that they can go forward. That's why we work together. So mothers and child-free women gotta just we unite. Like, we've got to work together. Stop letting this society pit us against each other. We need each other. You know what I mean? I can't do a lot of the things that Kara is able to do, and she has the time to do it. You know, but I will nurture 2 great future feminists. Hopefully they can take the torch. So it's like that. We got to just see each other as allies.
You got a bug on you.
Oh, for the record, these are all females. All of these are females. So look, see now this one again, this little cry bully here, the one in the tie-dye is now putting, you can't do that to other people's property. And also, we have a permit to be there. You can't come and disrupt a pre-planned, legitimized event that's city ordained. You know, putting her hands in thing and then starts to actually push, and then I think he ends up dropping the camera at one point. I know, Vicky. Right about now, Vicky says I definitely would have hit somebody. I'm driving down 76 and I had the stream going. And I'm like, excuse me, sorry, pardon me, I gotta go. I gotta get there. And I'm like, oh my God. I was so afraid it was gonna just shut down before I was there. And I was so afraid someone was gonna get hurt before I got there. And I'm like, let me get there, yo. That's why I always wear sneakers. I always wear comfortable pants. I wear something that I could tussle in if I had to. You know, and not even just whatever. If I had to run, I could run. I wear socks, sneakers, running, and I wear running shoes. I'm not wearing cool sneaks. I'm wearing running shoes. You know, and I wear I get my hair up, minimal everything. Comfort, function, over form. Right? Because again, and by then I was I just gotta get there. I was my adrenaline was and I'm flying down 76 trying to get there. So the police aren't there yet, but they're gonna. That's Gabby right there. Gabby's that's my new hero, my heroine. She's awesome. The police aren't there yet, but they do end up coming. Alright, look at this. Look at this. This one right here. This little piece of little ant dog shit. Little piece of ant shit. Okay? They went and were pushing our stuff, throwing our equipment. Ugh, you annoying little pest. You're locust. You get out of here. It's so fake. I hate that. I hate it. Right? Watch this part again. Hold on. Shut up! Shut up! Oh, you can't damage someone's property. Yo, you do that shit anywhere else. Yo, you do that shit. Yo, you're lucky we were in Center City. You go down to North Philadelphia. Yo, you get your fucking block knocked off. You can't just do that to people and expect it's all good. And I'll tell you, that's how you know that somebody has always had it real cushy and clean and nice, and who doesn't expect to have any repercussions. And that's why how these universities are failing these kids in these real protected spaces and bubbles. You're not in a university, hon. This is Philadelphia. I don't know what the fuck you thought. But if you thought you were going to pull up on somebody and fuck with somebody's expensive equipment while we're trying to have, you really lucky that we're civil. You really, really lucky that we're as professional as we were. That shit could have been real different from you, and you're not going to play victim. Fuck is you talking about? What's really wrong with people? Yeah, Stone, some ant shit. She's not even upgraded to dog shit. That's ant shit. It's the little pebbles.
That's my fault.
So that was Illuminati. When they said, do you have a permit for that? That was the police, right? So I think the police were kind of seeing that something was going on. It's like, hey, do you have a permit? And we're like, yes, we're the ones with the permit. Like, get them out of here. That's when they called for backup. Yo, they had 10 cop cars. 10 cop cars to support. Alright, so then it loses, and then Amy's
okay,
like, sorry, we
here.
lost
the cops are here. Great. Okay, great. So Jessica Gonzalez is saying that the cops are there. Hopefully they're taking back. They're coming back on the stream. I'm sorry, my words are a little tongue-tied because I'm trying to text and communicate with the ladies. All
right, so then we get back on the stream.
Things about women and girls. It's so appalling. We have to call the police. Oh, nice.
Yo, this shit made me so mad.
The park rangers have been This person is assaulting me with a pink and blue flag. This person is assaulting me right now with this flag.
Yo, this one in the background, like, you can't get on some, the one with, like, the glasses. Yo, if you had any knowledge about what it's like, what this city is like, you wouldn't come and antagonize people with glasses. That's how you get glass shattered in your eye, hun. That's what lets me know that you don't really know what you're doing. One thing I learned early, and one thing I'll impart to whoever, my kids, whoever, don't always assume that people are playing with you. You don't know. You don't always know. Not everyone's for the play. Not everyone's playing with you. Stop assuming that people are going to treat it. There was a video of these 3 kids who came in to rob some smoke shop. And it was this, like, Chinese store owner. It's this, like, young kid. He was, like, in his 20s or early 30s or something. Came in to rob it. He's not playing with it. He came and growing a grab. He just started stabbing the shit out of him. He downed one of them. Not everyone's playing with you. Not everyone's going to let you come up and rob them. Not everyone's going to let you come up and, damage their stuff or assault them. Not everyone's playing with you. And you know what? The Chinese store owner who downed the kid who came in, they let him go. That's self-defense. So not only did you get down, but you look like a clown and no one feels sorry for you. That's a bad John. That's a bad John. Not everyone's playing with you.
This person is assaulting me with a pink and blue flag. This person is assaulting me right now with this flag.
Yo, it's like enraging. Alright.
So I guess this is how we're going to do Speakers Corner.
Alright, so yeah. So it was just like obnoxious. I think they got it under control. Because I have to go soon. That's why I'm just like going through it. Now it started to really pick up. So they started to really get more and more like TRAs there. She's awesome. Yeah.
No reason why we should have to have men and women prisons. That is not safe for women. There's no reason why we can't say that. It's clear to everybody else in the world. There are laws, there are rules. We should not have.
She's awesome. So I just skipping. There's Jessica. So right here, Jessica. Hold on. Right here, just so you guys know who everybody is, the one with the glasses, the like light skinned black girl, the Dominican looking one. She's Dominican. Who has the Turf Collective? She like started Turf Collective. That's Jessica Gonzalez. She's cool as shit too. She was there with her girlfriend who only spoke Portuguese. And I was like, oh, well, I speak Spanish. So we were like, I was like able to practice a little bit. I was like, yo puedo hablar un poco español. Vamos a practicarnos. Porque yo vivía en Perú por un tiempo. Y por eso yo puedo hablar un poquito. Vámonos. They were like, okay. I like any like chance I get to practice Spanish and like show off. I'm like, wait. I was like, okay, mira. I was like, oh, please God, like I speak English. Just stop. I'm like more than happy. I'll like go to the poppy stores just so I can like talk to them in Spanish and you gotta practice. Yeah, Turf Collective's badass. All of them are badass. Like, yeah, so Jessica Gonzalez is badass. Jen, I mean, it was a really great coming together of people. Oops. Yo, Gabrielle, this is Gabrielle. Yo, she is like my new best friend. I'm like fucking love her. She's just so my type of person. Like Gabs is like 100% like she's a mom. She's not with the fuck shit. She's not fucking playing with anybody. She like she like has her shit together but like is also not playing. Like I love her. She's awesome. I picked up a Peruvian. Oh yeah, I've heard that before. Oh, I know. That's exciting. Yeah, I do. It is interesting how you can like start to hear like the accents. Even I can start to like know enough where I can start to hear like different regional accents. And also you can tell by like the words that they use. She is unfuckable. Yeah, so this is Jessica. This is from Turf Collective. She's from Turf Collective.
I hope anybody wants it.
And like she lives very close to me. I was like, hey, you want to like hang? She was like, no. Like low-key. I was like, you want to like do arts and crafts together? I'm gonna make her hang out with me. I don't care.
This live stream can hear me because it's pretty loud here. My name is We're having trouble even keeping the camera on the speaker.
Yeah, they were just messing with everything. Oh, TPS, stop. You're really nice. Thank you.
Activists, trans rights activists who don't want to talk about the issue substantively because the truth hurts. They'd rather try to drown us out.
Exactly. The more they look this way, the better we look. So true.
With their wall of sound, they have a flag behind me. So this is what happens at every event where we try to go out and speak to the public because they know that the majority of people alive agree with us that sex is
Exactly.
and women deserve their sex-based rights.
Exactly.
The propaganda around this issue is so strong that we have lesbians standing here fighting for men's rights.
Yes, thank you. Yes, exactly. You know, Jessica's, I think she's a lesbian. I don't think she's bisexual. She's a lesbian. You know, she started Turf Collective, and that's exactly what I was saying. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, you have all these lesbians. You know what's crazy? And like, tell me if I'm like wrong for thinking this. Every time I see a lesbian, I'm like, oh, sweet. Like, she'll definitely be a TERF, you know? And then I get like so disappointed when I'm like, wait, there's actually lesbians who like buy into like the queer shit. I've always felt like of all people, lesbians are the most like not likely to pander to like nonsense like this. And it's like, it's so disappointing. You're like, you of all, I can understand like maybe the ones who are like trying to be like cool for like the Tim, but like I don't know. It's just, it's so disappointing. It's sad. And it's like, you especially, you're like a double whammy of like rights that are being eroded. I mean, lesbians, it's like you're being eroded on sex-based rights and sexuality-based rights, and you're like working for that. That's crazy. That's just sad.
Women. Completely drowned out with sound. This is what
Yeah, and listen, like, as recognition, listen, lesbians created the gender critical movement, you know, and like homage to that, you know, and big respect to just lesbian women and lesbian feminists. Like, lesbian feminists paved the way. They gave us the blueprint for this. You know, they are the grandmothers of the radical feminists and the gender critical movement. So, you know, it's just huge respect. And it's just, it's really just sad to see other women working against it. It's just crazy to me.
nice to have a women's free speech in America, free speech event in America today. It's really pathetic, but the tide is turning. Oh yeah.
Wait, what did you get moderated? You only listen and only moderate people. People can say what they want, and people can even criticize me. But if people are like doxing me or like, and if even TRAs are allowed in the chat, just as like a heads up, like for Illuminati and just any other future moderators, TRAs are allowed in the chat as long as we've had a couple TRAs that ended up like staying on and like being like listening and stuff. You know, if they start really getting annoying, get them out of here. But even like we've had some, you know, we have a few trans people who are like very respectful in the chat and who stay and like will maybe pose like a challenging question. Challenging questions are okay. But it's like when they start like asking a million questions and like really like hounding everybody and like saying a bunch of like really hounding stuff, that's when it's annoying. You know, people can like, you know, as long as like people aren't being like really like kind of out of line with what they say towards me. But you know, we can like a reasonable amount of static is permitted here. You know, we just want to keep like the chat generally under control.
You're fighting for daddy. You don't even know what you're fighting for. You know. Thank you, Jessica.
Oh, it might have been YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Hold on. YouTube will also hide comments, and then I have to go back. Oh, well, I guess that's what Illuminati, you know how to allow comments. Anyway.
Apparently, we are fighting for the right to privacy and dignity of women and girls in the
Look how annoying. So annoying. And then you know what the problem is? And in the future, I think what really happened was we didn't have enough early communication with the police. And I can even be on this in the future. The more we do these, and the more, again, this is why it's so important that we're not violent back. If we are very respectful and very tolerant and we just show images of them, let them be the animals. Let them be the savages, okay? We stay laser focused on our mission. We keep speaking. You don't stop speaking. Do not let them take your voice. This is why we have men standing. Look at this guy. He stood in the gap. There was another man who said he was walking on the street. Some big black guy who was like 6'2", you know, jacked up too, came and I thought he was one of us. I was like, yeah, you know, great, you know, solidarity, brother. Great to have you. He was like, oh yeah, I didn't know what this was. I just saw, you know, you guys look like you needed help. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, listen, good men care, guys. Good men. It doesn't, you know, doesn't feel good for them to see women who remind them of their mothers and their sisters and their wives and their daughters being bullied and attacked. You know, let them stand in the gap, you know. And again, it's different. If someone's, they were very respectful. They didn't put their hands on anybody, you know. They were really great at like trying to diffuse stuff and just using their presence which was enough. Using their presence to just send a message like, hey, stop. But what I was trying to say is if we continue this, you know, we'll continue to have rapport with the police officers. They'll know what to expect. You know, these things will probably increase and we might need a bigger space. But I was saying in the future, we can, you know, mark off ribbon around saying, hey, this is the space that we need. Because I think it was hard for the police to like, it was so much noise. The point of the noise that they create is to disorient us. It's to create chaos and confusion, to make it difficult to coordinate the next moves, difficult to, for the police to know exactly what's needed. They literally, at this point, all they were doing was just being a human shield. I mean, they were shoulder to shoulder in between us and them. That's how much they were coming at us. We had a bunch of troons, like male troons coming in, the Tims. Once the Tims got in there, that's when it gets a little bit scary and hairy. Because the craziest part about it is, they say, men, Tims are the most vulnerable. That's who we're all fighting for. Let's be real. Well, they're not fighting for TIFs. They're not fighting for trans-identified females. They're fighting for the Tims. And the Tims come and they're huge. It's crazy. And there was literally lesbian women, like 5'2", 5'3" lesbian women standing in front of like a 6'4" troon with like pink hair. And she was like guarding him. That's why I did that video where I was like, you're like a comfort animal to these people. You're a security animal. You're a service dog to this guy. They don't give a fuck about you. They want to take your right. They want to wear your skin. That's crazy to me, bro. But when you really look at these guys, then you realize how real shit is. When you see these like goofy, like queer girls, and I'm sorry to say, but like some of these lesbians that are just like doofy looking, like the ones that were coming up and like getting in Kara's face. But when it really gets hairy and it really gets scary is when you see these Tims come. Homeboy looks like he's like North Philly, like 6'4", like, ball player. Oh, but he's got like some sparkles in his hair, so we're all supposed to know that he's a girl. And they treat them like they're the most precious, sacred thing to protect. Anything they do will be legitimized. It's crazy. It's okay to assault real women in the pursuit of protecting some 7-foot troon who's like, oh, I'm a victim because what? Why? Because he's wearing a halter top, bro? Come on, bro. Like, I guarantee you if we go and talk to people that he grew up with him, like, oh, yeah, who? Marquise? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we used to play ball with him back in the day. I've got to get Hakeem on here. Remember the princess I was telling you guys about that he was locked up with? The one Tim? He has more stories about Princess, and they're so funny. I was like, wait, stop telling me. We got to make this natural, because it's like, wait till I can record you, because I was like driving. And I was like, you got to tell this to my channel. They're going to die. It's so funny. All right. Here we go.
It looks like they're gonna allow us a little bit of room here. So
oh, listen, you're right. All the way to acting. Listen, women should always outnumber the men. And again, any man who's not acting within, any man who's getting violent towards them, it is not on our side. He's a wreck chaser, and he's really not here to protect us, because protecting women is about diffusing violence, not escalating it. Any man who escalates violence at any of these is posing a direct threat to every single woman in attendance, and needs to be treated as a threat, and he needs to be handed over to authorities, and they need to get him out of there. We don't tolerate men who escalate violence around us. That puts us in danger. You don't know who's carrying a gun. You don't know who's got a knife. You don't know. And again, these aren't just regular people. These are very mentally unstable people. That's the whole point. Oh, they're so mentally unstable that if they can't do whatever they want, it's going to be crazy. So we have to reorder society. You can, if you are a man, and to any man who's in here listening to this, if you ever come to one of these and you escalate violence, I will personally call the police and have you arrested and get you out of there. Don't do it. You will endanger every single one of us. That is not, no, that's not support. That's endangering us. You are the threat in that case. Men can, one thing, again, and I people hate when I bring up my boyfriend. So people either like when I talk about my boyfriend or they hate it. Whatever, he's a part of my life. Sorry. Okay. One thing that he does very well as a man is de-escalate. He's huge. He's like 6'2", nearly 6'3", 230 pounds, jacked up. He's very good at de-escalating violence. He doesn't want to go to prison because he's always the one who ends up going to prison. When the police come and they see a bunch of stuff going on, they look at him like, oh, it was probably him. He's the one who gets in trouble. He's the one who will end up getting shot. He knows that. So he's developed really, and he's very, very good social skills. He's very charismatic, very good at de-escalating violence. The way that you protect women is you de-escalate the violence. You do not add to it, ever.
Let me just get the next speaker and we'll do this right here.
Alright, so let's see. So just to alright, so it's like
Men and dresses were the only people promoting this type of medical abuse, it would not have become the widespread problem it has become. As a former Democrat and as an American for which none of this were happening, I hate to say it, but nearly the entire Democratic Party believes that some children were born in wrongly sexed bodies and that they should be sterilized and mutilated for this reason. Jim Kenney believes it, Tom Wolf believes it, John Fetterman believes it, and Josh Shapiro believes it. Ensuring that these people never again hold public office is an important endeavor.
good job. So I don't want to cut her off. I want you guys to hear some of her, and I'll put the links and stuff. I know I'm going to have to get off the stream in a few minutes.
Thing. I am afraid for all the misfits of the world, all the artists of the world, and I stand for girls and women, and for also my sons. We need to grow up in a world that understands biology and understands the differences between men and women and how we can work together.
Yo, you can't tell me that being a mother is not a feminist act, yo. Yo, if anyone ever comes on here and says something like, oh, being a mother is not, it's new, fuck out of here, okay? This woman, I guarantee you, this woman wouldn't be involved in this if it weren't for the fact that she's a mother and she's got a son and she cares. I wouldn't be here. I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, all right, that's what's up. Yeah, go feminism. Man, I'd go, hit Instagram. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking doing shit just to I'm tired in life. Yo, I'm tired. I'm 34. I feel like I'm 65. Cancer kicked my ass. I'm tired. I want to tap it. I want to go lay down. I want to go be a beached whale somewhere. I want someone to spray me with a hose while I eat snacks and fall asleep. I have work to do still. Because I have children, because I have 2 little girls, and I have 2 boys that are growing into men, and who I want them to understand, what their place is in this world. Again, and as I said, being a man it's not about what you wear, who you love, what your sexuality is, what you like to put on your body. A gay man wearing flowers in his hair can be deeply masculine. Masculinity is about taking responsibility and taking care of your responsibilities in this world. To your family, to your community, to the people you love, your children, your parents. I've seen deeply masculine men who have feminine, qualities, whatever the fuck that means. But in terms of standing up for what's right, in terms of taking care of what they need to take care of, these are masculine men. That's masculinity. Being a man is about, and it's you adult human male. We have things that we have to do in this world. So, oh fuck. Yeah. So again, a lot of us are involved in this because we're mothers. Gabrielle's involved with this because she has a son. We care because of our kids. I'm not that selfless. I'm not some Mother Teresa. I'd rather go be fucking off somewhere, eating snacks, watching people doing stupid shit on 1-minute clips on Instagram. Just scrolling. That's what I want to do in life. I just want to lay around, eat snacks, watch clips of cute animals, and people doing stupid shit. But I can't right now because we've got to fight this crap. And I'm tired and I just want to get it done. And it's just getting out of control and it needs to end. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for any glory. I don't care. I'm tired. But I'm not letting my kids inherit this shit. Not on my watch. I don't know if my cancer will come back, so I've got to do it now. And clearly it's spiraling out of control, so we've got to get it under control. So here we are. Let's go. Let's fight this thing. All hands on deck.
I will never work in theater at the moment because...
Exactly, Judy C. Baby goats and kittens. And you know what I've really been into lately is sloths. Sloths are really cute, and the way they move is so weird. And so are their claws, are just so weird. And I literally binge watched sloth videos for like 45 minutes yesterday. That's what I want to do. I want to beat this shit so I can go back and lay down and be in bed by 8:30 every night so I can have a whole 45 minutes to myself to watch sloth videos and other bullshit like that. Okay? So can we just win this thing, please? So I can get out of here? I'm tired. You need all hands on deck.
I have these living sons, and I can't stand for that. For my daughter, who is 12 years old, who's coming up to understand her body, and is being told that when she sees a man, she's...
Totally made up words.
Alright, and then him.
The whole teacher's like, hey.
I just want to show the other. He's shit. I feel bad for him. He was like shaking. Alright, so here's
What's
me.
up, everybody? What's up, Philly? Yo, what's this birthday?
Yo.
Philly? What's Philly done?
I was like at 100. And the thing is, like, the like real like sick part of me wanted to like aggravate them the hell back.
Let's get out of here! Yo! Oh my god!
Alright. So real quick, let's switch over to the other one. So hold on. Yeah. Oh no, not that one. Damn it, I thought I had it pulled up. Okay, yeah. Alright. So right at this moment where I just cut
I
off.
guess we have like
before-
a really big hold on, check this out. Oh shit, here we go.
Oh. Let me reiterate what I said. Because this was all wound up already. Dachshunds. Oh, cute. I know. That's what I want to do in this world. You watch animal videos. You guys have me up at night worrying about this stuff. I was walking through the one alley trying to get over here. And again, I had an adult human female thing. And someone threw a water bottle at me from like 4 or 5 stories up. It went boom, boom. And that shit literally missed me by like, I mean, it probably was maybe like more, but if I could hear it, the way it like smacked on the ground, that would have knocked me out. How sick are you that some man, and I know it was a man, I didn't see who threw it, but I'm telling you that was like male pattern type of stuff. You see a woman, I'm a mother. I am a mother. I have 4 young children. You're gonna take a water bottle, some piece of shit ass, college student living with like 2 other losers in some, butthole studio apartment all the way up. You're gonna throw a water bottle at me and risk knocking me out, and I have children at home that I gotta care for? What's wrong with you? Why? Because why? Because I'm politely suggesting that it would be really great if my daughters could, play sports without the risk of extreme bodily injury from playing with somebody who is biologically hardwired to be stronger and more aggressive than she is. Yeah, I'm sorry, what a ridiculous take. My bad. I don't, like, how sick are you people? I hate women. Yeah, this was like literally 2 minutes. When I turned on the camera, that incident where they threw the water bottle at me was like 2 minutes prior. And then I turned on, and then when that happened, I was like, yo, I better turn on my thing in case anything else happens. Because I was like, I can already tell it's like live and litty here in the city of Philly.
Oh, shit. Jen!
I didn't realize that was Kara right there.
Thank you. There's Jen. Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
They did organize before the event. They circulated. I guess because Jen was putting things up, they circulated something that was called like a Dance the Turfs Away. They were like, turfs are organizing. No, they did. They for like, I think at least like a week or two were spreading flyers telling people to show up to protest. And I told you, Philadelphia, Antifa, which represents all of this queer stuff, all falls under Antifa. It's all the anti-fascists and stuff, and they consider TERFs fascists, right? Because we're the fascists, right? We're the ones in your face saying you can't speak, saying you can't, like politely, peacefully gather. Yeah, but we're the fascists. No, they absolutely did try to shut us down. And the thing is with Philadelphia, they have networks. They can always get numbers like that. And you know what's crazy? We threw them off our trail. We didn't put one thing that Jen knew not to do. She didn't put the right address. She put an address like way on the other side of the city. They figured out where we were and they were there within like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. They have really good, communication, and there's a lot of them in this city. And I know because, like I said, I used to be a part of this. I used to be involved in this. I know how this stuff works. We used to get, this is before I even had cell phones, we used to get phone calls being like, yo, we're all meeting up. Oh, there's something we all need to go and show up. They need us over there. We need to go, with the fascists. Back then, it was fascists and Nazis. Everybody was a Nazi. Everybody was a Nazi. They're all a bunch of Nazis. Nazis and fence sitters, and we need to bash them all. But meanwhile, it's really some grandmothers, a handful of mothers, concerned moms, a father with his daughter. Yeah. Cool, cool target, guys. Yeah, you guys are really killing it. You're doing a lot of good in the world. Meanwhile, your parents are paying for your apartment. You're getting like a B- average in college on a bunch of like, soft sciences. Liberal arts. You're a loser. You're just a loser. There's really not a whole bunch else I can say about that.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, Vicky Bell, once again, so September 4th, Speaker's Corner in Pittsburgh. Also, if anybody wants to, listen, we're not like an organization. Anybody who wants to organize a Speaker's Corner and you want some help, do it. Reach out. Reach out to like RevFem. Reach out to Turf Collective. We'll plug you in. Reach out to me. I'll send you to somebody. I mean, all of this stuff, this is, again, when people are criticizing us, you got to understand, we're not an organization. We're not funded by anybody. We are a collection of women, a collection of concerned citizens. That's it. Any single one of you has the right to do one of these. Please, we need more hands on deck. We need more people. Anybody who's in the tri-state area, who's within like a 2-hour driving distance or more, who can show up for Philly, please pay attention. Stay tuned. Show up. We need people. The more presence we have, the more we have just more of like a natural human barrier. They'll have to back off. We were very outnumbered. Even just bringing water bottles or making signs or, throwing us a couple dollars for gas. However, even if you don't want to go because you don't feel like you don't want your face on something, any little bit counts, guys, and it means a lot. Yeah, Doug, DC, we do DC a lot too. That's where the Our Bodies, Our Sports was. I'm sure there's more stuff coming up in DC. So like I said, even if you can't go, listen, Philly's a hardcore city. Like I said, it's the murder capital of the US right now. I don't expect that every city's going to be like this. Philly's hardcore. Philly has a lot of Antifa in it. Philly's like really like, big on like wreck chasing, just looking to like, create clashes. But it doesn't even have to be. It can be in other spaces too. Do it next to a police station. There's ways to do it where if you're more vulnerable, if you're older, if you just aren't like with that, so not everybody's with that. It's not, it's not like cool to be like all gangsta all the time. Not everybody's with that, and that's good. You don't have to be hardcore. You shouldn't have to be hardcore to speak. You shouldn't have to be, ready. I'm different because I'm like, I'm from around here and stuff like that, and I've been through some things, and I'm just kind of a more like, I can handle sort of stuff, but I have a lot of respect and sensitivity to people who aren't built like that. You shouldn't have to be. You shouldn't have to be ready to fight just so that you can speak how you feel about things. That's not what this is about. You shouldn't be on like, on a 10 just so that you can sit and share your ideas. No, we shed blood for that right. We shed blood. Our grandfathers died for us to do that. You so that you wouldn't have to sit there and fight to speak. That fight has been won, but we need to protect it. I don't want it to only be these, like real amped up, young, able-bodied people who have who get to speak. No, I want some grandmothers. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from, a disabled woman. I want to hear from vulnerable people. I don't want this to just be like, oh yeah, we're all just gonna, whoever can muscle their way through. That's not where it's at. Our grandfathers died so that we wouldn't have to go through this shit. That's why we gotta protect speech, guys. Alright, so check this out. So remember the ones who thought that they were all like, big and bad before pushing stuff before I got there? Yo, that shit really made me mad.
I'm hot as shit. Hey, bro. Check this out.
So it started to really grow by then. Tariffs go home. I am home. The fuck is you talking about? Corny ass flag. This is the cry bully. Watch. She breaches us. She tries to rush back. Bro, you see me standing here like I'm not fucking watching. Well, I don't know what to do. Nah, get out of here.
Can you get her out of here? This one right here.
But this is the right way to do it, I had a momentary idea to go and grab her by the back of her neck and throw her out of there. But I said, I don't need to live like that anymore. I'm not a savage. We have these, gentlemen here. These police. That's why we got a permit. So I'm going to politely ask one of them to come and remove the intruder. Do everything by the book. It might give you a momentary sense of gratification to smack the living dog shit out of one of these clowns. For a moment, you're going to feel great. But then one of their little loser friends caught it on tape, and now you're getting charged. Now that's getting circulated, and we all look bad. Always take the higher ground. There are times when it's okay to not take the higher ground, or you can get away with it at least. These are not it. Do everything properly, have excellent procedure, make them look deranged by comparison. Do not sink to their level. Do not